say that if Wolves' 3 best maps not only are very aggressive maps that DPlus could excel on, but Wolves has been looking like they've been getting back into the rhythm of things. 2-0 on M80 yesterday, which I would argue M80 in the current state is almost better than DPlus. So 3 best maps for Wolves, 2-0 for Wolves.
Such a hater.
Yeah, it's a tall ask for DPlus, so I definitely have to agree with all of them here. And when you look at this map pool, I mean, Fox, would you walk into this neck of the woods in your band face?
You really asking me that?
Well, I think that spoke for itself right there. Let's get through this band phase, folks. Let's see how Chalet is going to play its offensive bands. First, DPlus Kia is going to be handling our first one here. But you guys heard it here first and on the analyst desk. This is not looking too hot, at least when it comes to the map fans for DPlus Kia. But, hey, crazier things have happened in the past. We're going to get Ying banned out here initially. Let's see how the rest of this offense is going to look.
Wolves sure does love taking Solar Take. I'd expect maybe DPlus to kind of counter operators for that. Wolves banning out the Brava. That's going to eliminate DPlus's individual playmaking ability. The Brava's so good on Chalet, getting rid of potential Elemines, beepers that could stop the individual playmaking from DPlus. And the Valk, again, another huge aggressive operator to get off the board, shutting down the information for DPlus Kia's players.
And what do you know? To round things out, we have the Solus for DPlus Kia. What are Wolves good for yesterday? What could we rely them on when it came to moments that, when they were presented earlier in the tournament, they kind of didn't live up to their reputation? You ban out the Solus, you minimize some of that individual play. And when DPlus Kia shift to the attack, as they are a bit slower of a team, now they'll be able to rely a little bit more on those drones once they end up switching sides. For Wolves, of course, they won't have to worry about that either. That does mean, though, Azami is left up on Chalet, and she is such a powerful operator for holding sites like Bar and Game, specifically this library position. You could have the Mira, too, if you wanted to pair it with her. That's how deadly she can be.
You mentioned exactly what Wolves is good for. In my opinion right now, I think it's their energy. The way that they're feeling, especially after a win, especially after taking out the NA1 seed, Wolves probably doesn't feel too worried going up against DPlus Kia right now. I'd have to see something surprising out of DPlus Kia. The individual playmaking that got them that first win in day 1 of Phase 2 was a lot of Yas pretty much individually getting the picks for his team against Los. Wolves don't really make those mistakes. They don't have individual roamers that are going to get picked like that. I'd expect Wolves to really slow the pace down, take their time, see what they can get started.
Yeah, they've been a lot more set up. Ibu working on his aerodynamic package, right? Had to shave the hair off. Brain's firing on all cylinders now. Had to make sure that thing, had to make sure that thing was a little bit more cool, man. Just getting hot under the engine there, rather the hood. But either way, though, into the first round we go. Bibu gonna be heading things off here with one of his friends over towards Ego Balcony. He's gonna be Deadshot on the upside down rappel here with the Lion.
Now, just looking at exactly how Wolves is setting up, it's striking to me that it's going to be a library clear, bringing that Capitao.
Nice.
Aggressive pick from Deadshot, but he is going to get traded. Wow, the trench run out from Yas. The trades are amazing right now from Wolves. Bibu, right place, right time. Back to what I was saying, though. The Capitao the Capitao brought to pretty much clear out library, almost as if they wanted to just clear up the top floor and then exec the site right after.
And I mean, look at this. I mean, Coded now the only man standing on this mezzanine position. What was supposed to be basically DPlus Kia's bastion on the defense to delay so much time. All you have is Wamai, which can be a powerful operator, but all of his support is gone. The Azami dead. It's a rough start for DPlus.
Yeah, DPlus want all the smoke, but ended up taking a little bit too much into the lungs there. So they choked out for now, but that doesn't mean that they can't bring themselves back into this round. As Wolves was looking at that top floor, just as Fox was saying, they're still gonna have to deal with a couple of bodies, specifically this one over towards the balcony. Not so much presence actually physically inside of the library. That's what that lineup with Mowgli with those nades, as well as the Capitao bolts, are so damn good for. But now, Wolves, a lot of time for them to be able to work this map and try and use these drones to their fullest advantage.
DPlus is not set up badly at all. Coded being up top, Woogieman able to watch the front lobby from Kitchen, and then you have the site player Soldier.
Well, they're trying to get the trades back onto Wolves, but the attack maintains the advantage as P4 moves into the bomb site. Coded now moving for the retake down below. Just on the opposite side of Shinka planning that diffuser, P4 can cut off his aggression inside of the site. Also has to do double duty, focusing on the short hallway. Then goes for the peek. P4 knows he's there now. Now Shinka can back out the window. They've entered the post plant. The hardest job of getting that bomb down is now done. They just need to hold their positions and stop the re-aggression from DPlus Kia defenders. Nice shot by Coded, but at this point, there is too much work to be done. Shinka has clutched far greater moments in this exact same post plant yesterday against M80. And no disrespect, my man, but one guy against two, one of them being Shinka, other being Bibu, I guess. But both, it's simply not going to happen. First round will go the way of Wolves in the post plant, and Coded will end it early.
Very smart play from Wolves. Obviously, the early aggression.
I don't know what that means.
That's the energy. I couldn't translate that. I didn't hear it. The early aggression in the trades.
Oh yeah, we can finally cheat. We actually have a Frenchman here. we finally know what they're saying. Oh man, I feel like a spy.
The early aggression from Wolves, getting that trade, set them up beautifully to then clear library and pretty much go for that plant right away off of the picks. I didn't think DPlus was set up too bad, but Coded actually gave up library and top floor control, which could have been the answer to stopping Wolves' plant, but he decided to just go down into the site and play with his teammate, which isn't a bad, it isn't a bad idea.
It's okay, right?
Obviously, we can see that top floor was clear and that would have been the answer, but he couldn't see it.
No. And that's the key thing, though, because that highlights how pivotal that area in the map can be, especially for plants like that. If you're able to maintain library control, you can quickly shut things down from that hatch, and then more than likely things are going to go your way. It's a cold case, and they have to try and reaggress into the site. But also just goes to show you how some of these moments can get a little awkward when sometimes that early aggression doesn't go the way you want it to.
And also, you got to talk about the trade game from Wolves early on. I mean, the ability to get so aggressive and shut down the aggression from DPlus Kia, all while somehow threading the needle and getting yourselves a 4v3 only a minute into the round. Really impressive stuff from Wolves to start and shows, I mean, this is a comfortable map for them. Bibu certainly feels at home at the moment after round one. We saw some crazy picks in the attacker repick where we end up basically getting a pretty standard lineup, I think, for, honestly, an attack from any side.
Yeah, I did like the aggressiveness from DPlus. Obviously, the trades from Wolves was better. But backs are against the wall. On this on the master bomb site, it looks like Wolves is trying to change up the pace, maybe go a lot faster for a solar direct.
Well, see if that'll happen. They have two over here on the bathroom side, but it's going to be an immediate hop in, and two are immediately eviscerated as Yaz will take them down. 3 kills for him now, but Wolves, they have to find this answer, and they need to find it fast. Mowgli tries to move in and find somebody here in the office position. It's one of those key moments to try and find, but he's also given up the goods. Soldier will find him, and what a round here from DPlus Kia.
Maybe Wolves thought that round was... Maybe they thought the whole map was going to be a little easier. The first round was so methodical. They really took their time. Soldier slowly cleaning up the rest of the team. But Shinka in a 1-on-5. Do we think he can do it?
No.
Absolutely.
I mean, listen, is Shinka one of the coldest players in Europe? Yeah, but that round was pretty much lost the moment they tried to hop in bathroom window. They tried to bait out with the Yana clone and then allow the player hopping in behind it to get that free 1-for-1. But Yas has got it lined up. I mean, once he sees the window open up, he's able to get the kill initially, and at that point, that's what most of Wolves' play was hinging on.
Absolutely. Night and day difference, too. First round, Wolves was really methodical. Their trade game was there. That round almost looked like they were maybe relying a little bit too much info, trying to rush this window that is double frost matted. Yes, perfectly behind it, just right place, right time. As soon as you shut down that entry potential from Wolves, Mowgli wasn't able to get into the office from the Ego Bauk. He was caught off. Now you have no push from Wolves. It's a 3-on-5. It only got more stacked against them as the round played out.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you as well how some solid positioning and good utility can go really far, because those dread mines were such a problem, right? Every single time they hop in, they're immediately blinded. They can't really take the fight they want to in any considerable way. You could really see that from Mowgli's position especially, but at that point in time, Fox, I mean, that's all she wrote. What are you going to do with 2 people, then 1 person at the tail end?
Not much. On this kitchen bomb site, it looks like DPlus is going to stick to the traps and the castle, slowing Wolves down at every pace they can. Wolves is a very slow team, but this is an aggressive map.
Also, the Azami's already been pretty impactful so far. I mean, we see that Yas play. He was kind of just moving around bathroom, just going about his own business, and then is able to hide behind that Kiva barricade. We see Soldier all the way on the library side, holding a similarly important position. So we have the castle barricades, obviously. We have a lot of utility from DPlus Kia that's meant to stall them.
Wow.
And again, the aggression from Coded finds P4 outside of the west main window. We gave Wolves a lot of credit after round 1, but afterwards, DPlus Kia have certainly fought back.
That's the aggression from DPlus that they started off on round 1. If you get a couple trades, that slows Wolves down so much because they've been playing so confident Coda's going to go down for his troubles, though. Still playing aggressive inside of West Main. Mowgli's going to clean him up, evening up the mount count, but no position has really been taken from Wolves. DPlus is still sitting up top. They're still sitting in sight. The whole team just surrounded, stalling their timeout, waiting for Wolves to make the move and fall into their traps. And off of the info from the Yokai or the Legion traps, that's when DPlus is going to make their move and try to isolate that 1v1 as best as they can.
That's a key thing. It almost feels as though Wolves has kicked the beehive here. DPlus have been activated. Wolves trying to shift the gear back in this round and try and get Bibu in there with those drones, open up some new angles, but it's been very difficult for them so far as they lose another body.
Yeah, Mowgli trying to push in. He's got intel on somebody playing close on the short hallway, just outside of the dining position. He gets a Yokai, but now he's spotted. He's tagged up Harper, but they know the Finka's position now. Teammate moves in to support. Need to recover this case. Pick it back up. He pushes on in, cuts down the Echo. Excellent spot now as Wolves have created a beachhead into the bomb site. Bibu tacks on for another one. And if they just can keep this player on the solar stairs isolated and also watch for these vertical angles, Wolves should be okay. Frag grenade cooked, check close on the solar angle, doesn't find anything. The only problem for Wolves at the moment are these vertical angles from DPlus Kia. It takes a lot of HP from Soldier, but he gets the important pick onto Mowgli.
You saw Bibu here, though. He's going to be able to get the case back into his hands, but with 2 DPlus players up, he's going to have to try and flirt with this. He's got plenty of time, though, so he can try and play this out into his advantage, flirt with that case a bit, see if somebody wants to peek, but instead, he's just going to stick it, and this is actually going to work out for him.
Bomb will go down and Soldier's on 1 HP. This could be a kill lined up. He's watching Solar. Down goes one. He spotted the other, but Yas makes the cross. Somehow dodges behind the reinforcement. Bibu at least knows the general part of the map he's on, but now the exact intel, it's evaded him. This is where Yas can catch the Flores off guard. Bibu still has 3 flashes, so a lot of ability to waste time or blind Yas as he moves in for the retake. Diffuser now spotted, but already so much time wasted by the Flores. Bibu timing these flashes so perfectly to stall the engagement from Yas by just a little bit longer. Pre-fire almost works, but Bibu in the clutch gets Wolves their second.
Clinical 1v2 by Bibu. DPlus, common theme for the first round, they have the top floor control. They're not playing it. They started out that round beautifully. They waited for Wolves to make the mistake. Wolves entered the site, the trades were there. They had full top floor control. They got the pick onto the kitchen player and then subsequently gave it up to double up going down into trophy, which is the best angle for that Bibu could have been set up for, is that trophy staircase.
So true. And I think the other thing, just to play into your point there, the stall on the Solarium stairs, the decision-making, it just wasn't there. They just wait patiently to see what's going to happen. I mean, if you're patient enough, I guess Bibu's going to put a bomb down and kill both of you. So just not a moment that you really want to try and give up, especially to a player like. Time to discuss things. Same for Wolves. Let's see the adjustments that are going to be coming in on both sides of the coin for Barn Gaming.
The last Barn Gaming round, the aggression was on the right track. Holding top floor library was on the right track.
Attackers need to locate
they simply
and
lost
defuse
it
bombs.
when they completely gave up top floor, allowed Wolves into the site, which was exactly what they wanted. And once that case, that diffuser goes down, especially right next to the window, it's very difficult to retake onto it because the fight is very difficult for the defender peeking outside onto the window, especially the last time they defended this round. Bibu was also upside down Spider-Man rappel.
Yeah,
pretty much on the library.
Right. That's the problem with that site is like there's so many areas outside that window that you can be. You can be on rappel, you can be prone, you can be behind the pillar. You know, there's so many different ways to just be right within arm's reach of that case.
5
but
seconds remaining.
difficult sites there for DPlus, and actually they're going to be adding a couple of traps inside of their own site just to make sure that if Wolves do go for a deep lunge, they meet some explosive tendencies.
The trap game is what they're going to be leaning towards, and I do like the mirror. The mirror is going to provide that info into library that they didn't have the prior round, and the info in the site to potentially stop the execute when Wolves decides to jump in the site. Information's there. Will they be able to capitalize off of it? They played library top floor so well and so pivotal, but Wolves also didn't try to contest Coded on the cat balcony. They left him there up top uncontested. They didn't really have information over library. Will they be as sloppy this round?
Oh?
Well, I mean, when you look at it, it looks as though DPlus has the right mindset, right? You look at the mirror, you look at the trap ops, you got Coded here, as well as Harper. Big thing here with a zombie on this top floor. These Kiba barriers can mean a lot for the positions that you can play, but we've seen Wolves break down bigger strategies.
It looks like they want to go for a fast play too. P4 setup downstairs. As soon as library's clear, I'd expect a very swift take into the site off of the Dokkaebi call. Potentially Lion jumping in the Ego balcony.
And here we go. Sam, you and I saw Shaiko in this spot earlier. He was felled very early on, and indeed the same thing happens. Woogieman swings in. The P4 down below. Finds his man, gets the trade for Mowgli, but DPlus Kia holding rock solid in round 4. Maintain control of the library stairs, and that fast play from Wolves only meets ready guns from DPlus Kia.
But Wolves have gotten what they've wanted. This entire top floor is now theirs. Halfway into this round, yeah, they've had to give over P4 and Mowgli, but they have to make sure that they know about these late rotations.
Yas on the flank, he could be detrimental to the stake. But it looks like Wolves has set up a flank drone to be able to pay attention to it. This is exactly what they wanted off of the back of the Dokkaebi call. They have the position. They can't lose it to Yas' solo flank, but he's been a pivotal player for DPlus so far.
Some shots rain in his direction. He's thankfully got those impact grenades to create a path of retreat down into Dining, and where does he go? But a pivotal position, equally so for Bar Games. If you can hold Dining, make sure nobody's pushing down the fireplace hall. At worst, you're just distracting Deadshot for a few key seconds, but at best, you could be the difference maker for Wolves' attack. They're trying their best to set up, but they haven't cleared out the stock position either, and Soldier has a mirror window to play behind. That's what the firebolts are for. There's still those magnets. Are there any in sight? Is there anything in Wolves' way? They're lacking a little bit of key intel. The E1D will try to provide it. Down go the firebolts. Soldier will likely not be burned, but he certainly can't peek without losing a lot of HP. A few key seconds dwindling by. Deadshot shoots the EED. As he moves on in, Harper finds one. Deadshot with the trade. Deadshot with 2 big kills, but Yas still unread on the roam. And Case dropped down inside the site. Somebody from Wolves has to recover, but Yas's long flank might just work out. It all depends on Deadshot on the coverage. Yas is working his way around. He shouldn't be able to see him behind the bomb. He uses the impact, but it goes too far. A 3K for Deadshot in round 4. Yas so close to the mark, but just too far away.
Phenomenal entry from Deadshot into the site. Everything was, again, looking like DPlus's favor. They had the mirror for the information. I really like the well-placed Capital fire bolts from Wolves. Right above the mirror, forcing Soldier to push up against the wall. I wasn't a big fan of Yas. He didn't commit to the top flank.
No.
And he sure as hell did not try to put any effort or pep in his step when he was coming over from kitchen. When your sight is being focused, when Soldier is the one being fired off, I don't know if the communication was cluttered, but we needed to see Yas kick it into high gear and come into the site to assist his teammates a lot faster.
Yeah, and you can definitely tell that the info basis wasn't really there either for what Wolves was going for in that moment. I mean, Deadshot getting away with so much there, and he walks through the fireplace single panel. That's a position where you think somebody like Yas over in that kind of dining hall area can maybe muster something, but he never really shows up to the party, does he?
That's very true. The traps, we saw them get shot right before the entry. The traps were not working. And again, similar situation as the prior rounds, the information is also not there.
Tactical timeout for DPlus Kia, as you all saw transpire on your screens. DPlus Kia recognized that letting Wolves run up the scoreboard so early on, especially when they have the momentum behind them, that is going to be a difficult mountain to climb. No matter what side Wolves are on, defense or attack, now is the time to try and stop it.
I really love that execute from Wolves. They got into position, minimal positions, off of the back of P4's phone call. They immediately hit into the site, hit up top on library, trade for trade. They got exactly what they needed, which was that top floor site. Then they stopped. Complete standstill. Set up drones, gathered information, figured out where all 3 remaining DPlus members were.
5 seconds
The utility was there, pushed everybody where it needed to be pushed, and the trades were clearly there. Deadshot just had an amazing entry into the site.
The ironic thing, though, is they did something not exactly the same. There wasn't as much of a reset, but they tried something similar on the master bedroom round when they tried to flood it through the window. They set up those drones, they got themselves in position, and then they were all cut down by Yas. So how will they make the adjustments this time? As I don't think they'll go for the same play, but the last time we saw clear of this top floor was anything but stellar.
It was a little bit more direct when it came to that as they tried to hop in the bathroom window. Previous round, a little bit of a better build-up, some safer pastures to work your way to the map, right? You can start from Big Garage, come across through the hallways downstairs. More than likely not going to run into too many roadblocks. And obviously with that reset that Fox was talking about midway through the round, that really assisted them with handling Yas especially. If they try and go for things too quickly, Yas probably slips through the cracks, maybe get some pivotal kills up top in the library. But Wolves, they were ready for that, and they used that full round round and at that time to its maximum advantage. So here we go once again. Wolves feeling as though the gas pedal might be the option. What a change here from P4. Woogie Man doesn't hear him, but Harper gets Mowgli as well.
P4's got intel on him, though. Wolves have constantly gone for this fast, disruptive play. It's sometimes a bit of a shoddy, but P4 certainly bringing him over the line this time. Deadshot also hopping in the trophy window to bolster the attack down below on the first floor. Yas in a similar position on that second floor, holding a choke point behind Akiba. And this is where we see that reset you talked about, Fox. They're trying to set up drones, find these positions, make good on the man advantage they've acquired.
They've done the hard job. They've got inside the map. They got the picks. Now they know that they won't have to worry about the flank. They won't have to worry about a player from below. They can take their time to walk up through Solar, which they love attacking Solar. DPlus Kia is going to set up a round to hold those stairs. The Ash is going to push Coded back into the bathroom. Yes, is going to be on a one-man mission against 3. He downs Deadshot, but he gets traded by P4. Coded alone in the bathroom. Soldier slowly rotating over. Currently a 3v2 for DPlus.
And Deadshot down on the floor. Can Coded go big inside of the site? It's instead Soldier to find the Dokkaebi. Whenever those calls went out, Wolves pushed off of it, but now the man who led the action on Wolves is gone, but Deadshot holding up the rear 4-0 right now as Coded starts to lurk around. He's the one watching. 4-1 now for Wolves. An explosive start, a quiet middle, and then a dominant end has been the theme for Wolves.
Wolves, they've found their mark, right? They've found this opening at the beginning, and they found their pacing up against DPlus Kia. Some discovery stages early on here inside of these offensive rounds, but the Wolves have found that this initial killing blow to some of these roamers really opens up the map, allows them to use the full breadth of their info game and apply pressure to DPlus Kia across the map. Key difference on that site too, Fox. Some of those rotations a heck of a lot harder, you know what I mean? Trying to get out of sight, try and find new ways to work influence in, and especially as you're constantly losing bodies, it's not really going to be the biggest and best thing to try and make a sweeping change over to Solarium.
We saw DPlus Kia investing a lot of utility, especially around that bathroom door with the Azami. Difficult way to clear. The last round, or the way prior round that Wolves tried to rush it, that's what they were trying to deal with. Obviously, Wolves knows that DPlus loves to put a lot of resources holding that Solar Stairs to completely stump Wolves' regular take. So Wolves is adapting around it. They're using the Dokkaebi call to take from below, which just goes to show how strong the Dokkaebi call is. And I love seeing the change of pace from Wolves. They're not going slow every round, fast every round. It's back and forth.
In round.
Exactly. And then once they get that pick, just like you said, they slow it down, they take their time, they figure out their next steps.
I also love P4 being the one to take that initiative. I mean, when you think of Wolves, you think of the big explosive entries from Deadshot or Mowgli, but P4, the IGL, has been the main guy off the back of those calls to take that control. I really like to see it.
Yeah, and just not to get too far off of it either, I love their answer to the Solarium hold, right? Instead of doing what everybody else does, we're going to burn things out, nade it, be it, whatever we have to do, they just walk in there and shoot the guy instead, Fox. Sometimes it's the easy things, right? It's the more straightforward options that can work out for you.
We're back in the kitchen dining bomb site, and it looks like DPlus is going with a similar hold, the same one that they ran the last round. They played this one perfectly. They had the top floor control in that clutch situation. Bibu was just too fast for them. We'll see if they can replicate it now. They have the capsule to stall a little bit at a time. Cute little wolf on screen there for you guys.
Hey, it's a wolf. It's the wolf.
It's a wolf. It's not a fox. Close
True
enough.
Not really. Foxes are a lot smaller. Good try.
Yeah, but they pack a big punch, so I've heard.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I've never
I'll hold him. You can hit him.
I've never met a fox I just picked up what you're putting down.
All right, let's get back into it. Wolves is slowly about to commence an onslaught onto the top floor. All 4 from one side, Shinka on the other. The Dokkaebi call, you hear it ringing out. That's going to give information to the top floor players. Harper's going to go down to Mowgli as they push down, but the trade's going to come out from Yas jumping out, but immediately getting traded. Right place, right time. Bibu's always there.
Mowgli too, just barely peppering Soldier through that wall. And somehow, despite the calls seemingly at first only bringing chaos, Wolves have found themselves a man advantage, a 4v3, and we're back to that reset position. But usually at this point, they have at least one more call to make work. Right now, they've got none of it.
You do have the bodies. At least got that going for them. Solid control over this top floor as well. Somebody's got to get the case. start looking towards where these last remaining members are, and the longer that Woogie sits here as these bodies bleed out, the worse and worse the scenario can get, especially if nobody dons Solarium stairs. Then it just becomes a questionable spot for him down here. But he does still have these yokais, and that's the beauty of a situation like this. But can he get him? He can't even kill P4 here, and then backed out. So kind of a saving moment here. They'll try and pick him back up, and the case is down here too, so they'll grab that. But now they know that Woogie Man is downstairs.
I like him picking up the case before he even revives his teammate. Mowgli knows what his priorities are. Bibu also cutting off the west main staircase. Oh, all right, Bibu, there we go. Takes the end of the clip, but they make it work. A 5-1 half for Wolves, but I have to say, it felt like we were watching the same round transpire over and over again. Dokkaebi call, push. Reset, Dokkaebi call, push.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have Helby on the line as a little check-in to see what's happening here with the Wolves.
I wonder what his thoughts are.
What's he thinking?
What's he thinking? He's cooking some up right now.
Well, I'm trying to listen to what Bibu is saying right now. We're obviously trying to bank on the momentum we picked up yesterday, and so far a 5-1 lead on their map pick is, you know, I couldn't ask for a better half.
Helby, I gotta ask. You're sitting there, you're doing the map veto, and you see Chalet, Sky, Oregon come up. What are you thinking?
We were very happy with the map ban. I mean,
is that true? Is that true?
I'm shocked.
When their map pick is one of our best map, even though we haven't showed like some very good, we could say, first half of the major on Chalet, it still is a map we were very comfortable on, and I think right now the scoreline is showing it.
Yeah, this is one of those maps where you guys have quite a bit of influence, especially over a team, it seems like DPlus Kia. Even more their high-flying antics, right? You guys are there, especially Bibu. It seems like Fox was saying, right place, right time. That angle, especially on Garage, a perfect moment for you guys. But when it comes to this defensive side, how do you guys try to address a team with this much raw power?
Well, Chalet can sometimes be claustrophobic, so I think we'll try to, you know, get early picks, generate some space for ourselves, and see how they react after that.
Well, thank you so much, Helby. Really appreciate the check-in, my friend. Stepping away from the team for just a split second to showcase just how talented his roster is, and they've been looking stellar so far. Isn't that right, Fox?
Absolutely, and now on the defense side of things, I really like how they're setting up to counter against a similar attack that DPlus is doing. They brought the Capitao, they're ready to clear this library angle if they want to, setting up for almost an identical attack that Wolves did the first round of things. Wolves doesn't seem to have too many bodies directly in library, but they're all spread out over to Master to inevitably retake the top floor. It looks like Wolves understands the strength and power on that top floor, especially in the library, maintaining that hatch control, maintaining cat. You have a full understanding and can see almost every position in the site below them, and that's how they're going to focus on stopping the plant.
One thing, though, that DPlus Kia don't have that Wolves abused almost was that Dokkaebi, those calls to allow explosive action once the phones start ringing in the map. This is far more utility-focused for DPlus Kia, whereas Wolves, it was all mobility, all flexibility, all ability to enable players like Deadshot and Mowgli and P4 even to get inside the building and find the picks they were looking for.
I love that impact out of Deadshot. They were anticipating potentially a flank up the top main stairs, so he impacts it, gets quick info pretty much on that area, and you can see Harper below. He's setting up, but there's a player right next to him.
A little pressure here. Harper, he's feeling it. He knows that player's going to try and run across, but it's P4 that shuts one down instead. Mowgli will get traded out from Harper. That was that other engagement we saw going down inside a snowmobile. So, all's fair in love and war in between these two, but a lot of time out of the pocket of DPlus Kia.
That was a beautiful rotate at a P4 too. He was just in the solar, already going downstairs. Great read. They clearly understood that DPlus was going to be taking the garage, completely stumped them in their tracks, and now it's a standstill with not much time on the clock.
No, but Deadshot still has this mirror window. When it comes to library control, Wolves still very much in control at the top floor. DPlus Kia really banking on Harbor's X-Factor on Fireplace Stairs, now flanking up to open up this part of the bomb site. Soldier has smoked off the mirror window, and this is a good reaction. Place the firebolt in the drone hole, force Shinka forward. But this is a man who does not lose his cool, who does not lose his edge. Even with Harper behind him, he's still perfectly fine to take the one on the game's window. And now he finds Harper as he moves in to clear out the very player who does him in. Nice shot by Woogieman, nice pickup too. But still an effective 1v2 with Soldier on the ground. He'll hop in the mudroom window, push on through the door, but P4's got it close. P4's got it done. Match point for Wolves.
That is exactly He said, yes, papa. I think that was pretty, yes, papa.
Yes,
nice.
Papa!
Nice, the guys. Well, like, let's go, guys, pretty much.
That's awesome. That is awesome. But what a round there from the Wolves. Putting on full display how to handle an offense like this, right? They identify where the offense is trying to come in from. They really want that base mid control and to try and work themselves up. This is something that we kind of see as a natural thing that's happened with this site in particular when it comes to Chalet, right? You can kind of influence things from upstairs, but sometimes if you get those players in down low, they can slip through the cracks, get some really pivotal kills, maybe carve out the site and get a plant down. But this time around, the Wolves know exactly where it's coming from.
Funny enough, Wolves was actually set up for a carbon copy of how they were going to attack it. They also set up exactly for that bottom up that they ran on the second attack on Bar with having P4 coming up through the basement. They were ready for that, and that's what stopped DPlus. And on the same side of things, the first attack that they ran, an amazing retake on Library. They didn't play on it, they had the mirror info, and as soon as the plant or a threat of a plant and the threat of the site being hit came out, they completely three-man retook upstairs control and shut down the diffuser.
Look at this change from DPlus Kia on match point. On their own map pick, need I remind you, a big change. Of course, you could talk about Coded on the rim, bringing some good soft destruction, but Woogieman is the one drawing our eye, the man on the blitz. Doesn't necessarily mean we'll see an execute in the first 30 seconds, but DPlus Kia are trying to bring something to break that slow pace we saw them set in the previous round. Something that, like we saw from Wolves off the back of those Dokkaebi calls, to allow an explosion of action and hopefully a man advantage acquired.
I really think we're going to see here a top floor bait with the blitz going through trophy window. There's not many places where you can utilize that blitz, but that is the one window that is close enough in vicinity to where he can have a huge effect on the rest of the round.
Yeah, and also the beauty of these boogie drones now, right? You can set it there and forget it until you want to activate it, and then it's massively loud, just churning across that top floor. And you really already can't hear when it comes to land, right? You have those little drivers in your earbuds. It's very difficult.
Coded left one outside of Ego Door, and he's already been all over the map, keeping confusion on Wolves' toes, while the rest of the team seems like they're trying to find an entry position. They're all rotating around the map, setting up information, opening up windows, making sure that Wolves doesn't have an exact pinpoint on where they're coming from.
You have some intel on the players down below. Look at the freedom Wolves have been allowed. DPlus Kia have this intel on the players inside of the site, but when it comes to the actual roamers from Wolves, the ones who might throw this attack really completely out of whack, there's really nothing stopping them.
It's been the slowest setup for DPlus Kia so far. Nobody really even stepping foot in the building, just trying to get all the odds and ends tied up to go for this big execution. With a minute remaining, Coded's going to try and adjust for this window. Yaz over on the far side. Something's got to give. He's going to give a little look-see over towards this angle, but P4, he works his way downstairs to Trench, and he will strike first onto Coded.
Now DPlus Kia really starting to feel that pressure. Even in a disadvantage, they know they have to go now, but Bibu's got it all lined up. He's tagged up the blitz, but the SMG-11 mag goes dry. Shinka's there, though. He's got 81 bullets to make up for the miss. 1v4 now for Soldier. The launch into the trophy window, it was slow, and it was a painful death to watch. And there's no tack timeout you can take, Soldier. If you just wait this 30 seconds out, it's only going to result in a loss on your map pick. Do the honorable thing, do the brave thing, face your death on your own map pick of Chalet with open arms and your head held high. He'll try his best with Case so far away, and P4, the run out to begin, the run out to end, and it bookends a dominant map for Wolves.
Fantastic stuff here from the Wolves, and